Hello and welcome to the video lecture associated with transforming ternary and n-ary relationships into relations. What we're going to talk about now is the fact that you can have complex relationships. You can have as far as the textbook is concerned, the textbook really talks about three way relationships. So you have three different entities that all have a common relationship. And again, what we do in that case is we create the associative entity to keep track of that. And now the associative entity, instead of having just two foreign keys, now it has three foreign keys. So it gets a little bit more complicated. So let's take a look at that. So here we've got patient, physician, and treatment, all of whom, so the initial relationship back in the enterprise ER model probably just showed one relationship line between the three of these, saying that there's a many-to-many amongst all of them. We would break that down by creating an associative entity called, in this case, patient treatment, which keeps track of the patient, what physician they're working with, or list of physicians that they're working with, and what treatments those physicians have, prescribed for them. So, patient treatment in and of itself is going to have attributes, right? It's got date, it's got time, it's got results. So, we've got this scenario set up, and now what we want to do is we want to see what that looks like when it comes to relations. So now we've got our patient entity, which is now with the patient relation, which has patient ID, patient name, physician as physician ID, physician name, treatment as treatment code, treatment description, and again, this would be fleshed out. There would be more attributes associated with each of those entities, but for simplicity and because the slide can only be so big, we're going to leave it at that. So then we have patient treatment. So patient treatment now has the patient ID, the physician ID, and the treatment code as the primary key. So again, remember that the primary key must be unique. So to make sure that that's unique, right? Because we could have a physician say that, okay, on this day, this patient needs this treatment. And then they can also say on another day that this patient needs this treatment, the same doctor. So in order to make it unique, we have to get a little bit more cumbersome, as the slide says, by adding in treatment date and treatment time. Because we could also get to the fact that a physician prescribes a treatment multiple times on the same day. But obviously, they wouldn't have the same treatment at the same exact time, right? Now this is a case, right? And this is much more of an unusual situation. This would be a case where you would probably make like a patient treatment ID instead of having, 5 different attributes combined to make a primary key. So when we go back and we talked about the associative entities video, in that I said that it was fairly rare that an associative entity would have its own system generated unique identifier, primary key. This would be a situation where that would be appropriate. And that is the end of my video lecture on changing ternary. And again, n-ary would be, I could have 15 tables that are all related somehow, all share a common relationship, and in that case I would have to take the primary keys from all 15 of those tables and put it into an entity. So it could be for any number of tables, all right, and that would get very, very cumbersome. And again, in those cases we would make a surrogate key. So we would probably make a unique index for all 15 of those, and we'll talk about that when we get into indexes. But that is the end of this video lecture.